Hi, I'm Dede Wilson. I'm going to show you how to make Almond-Oat strawberry shortcakes from the April 2012 issue of Bon Appetit magazine. These are a biscuit type shortcake, so they're rich and buttery. These have the addition of oats and ground almond in the dough, so they have a little more to their texture and flavor. The strawberries are sweetened, and they also have an optional addition of Grand Marnier, which I highly suggest. That's a cognac-based orange liqueur, and it just adds something to the fruit. So let's get going. You do need a food processor, even though with biscuits you can often make them by hand or use a mixer. Because we do have to grind the oats and the nuts, you're going to need a food processor fitted with your metal blade. So we've got all-purpose flour, rolled oats, some granulated sugar. These are all our dry ingredients. And the nuts. Now the nuts are slivered almonds. These are blanched slivered almonds, a third of a cup, and these are going to add a fabulous flavor and texture to the biscuits. A little bit of salt and baking powder. Going to process this until the nuts are ground. That looks good. Then I have 6 tablespoons of chilled unsalted butter. This is 3/4 of a stick, 6 tablespoons, cut into 1/2-inch cubes. And you want to make sure that it's nice and cold. I'm going to put all the cubes in at once. And then we want to pulse this. Get friendly with your pulse mechanism because you'll use it a lot in baking. We want to pulse it in until the butter is just about pea size and equally distributed amongst the dry mix. Okay, that looks great. Then we have heavy cream. I told you these were rich. And we have a little bit of vanilla. And that's going to go in. We can pour that in while we're pulsing at the same time. We don't want to overwork the dough. You're just going to pulse it till it starts to come together. Perfect. It's just coming together. And now I'm going to bring it out onto the counter. Now, you'll see here we have some more all-purpose flour. I'm going to use this just to dust the work surface. And I've got more cream and sugar, and those are going to be brushed on top of the biscuit. So extra flour for dusting. This will be for the top. I have my half-sheet pan covered with parchment paper, ready to go. Okay, you don't need a rolling pin. Now, look at this. See, we didn't process it so that it completely came together, but that's fine. Just dump it out. Actually, take a little bit of flour on my surface here. And then I'm just going to knead it together very briefly. And it's moist, but it's not too sticky. See how it's coming together? Okay, so the recipe says 4 by 6-inch rectangle. So we're just going to approximate this here. Or, you know what? Let's grab a measuring. I'm going to grab this. Let's see how good I am. Okay. 6. Not bad. I've done it a few times before, so there you go. I like to cut with a bench scraper. It's just easier, but really you can do whatever you want. You see there is some depth here to the dough. This is going to be make a nice thick biscuit. They will be split when we serve them to put the strawberries and the whipped cream in between. So that's why we want them a little thick. So we're going to do it in half lengthwise and then into thirds. It's that easy. So we're making 6. Now, you could certainly just put these as is on the sheet pan, but you can see that they're very square. So I want to show you a really quick technique. So look, we're just gonna round them out, just like that. Each one, round out a little bit, space them out on the sheet pan. I'm just keeping the approximate same thickness as we started with, just rounding them off. I mean, this is a very homespun dessert. We're not looking for perfection here by any means. And strawberry shortcake, when I've done polls on my website of favorite American desserts, strawberry shortcake comes up first. So this is a great new rendition. So here we have our biscuits, and you saw how quick that was. The recipe says 20 minutes to make, but I think it's even quicker. So I've got my, this is a silicone pastry brush, which is great. We're just going to brush the tops, a little bit of cream. I have the oven preheating to 375 degrees. Biscuits are always baked in a hot oven and sprinkled with a little sugar. It'll give it a little sweetness and a little crunch. And we're good to go. In the oven until golden brown, risen and flaky. Our shortcakes baked for about 20 minutes until they're evenly golden brown. You can see that they're beautifully golden brown on the top, very evenly colored on the bottom. That's because the parchment paper and the half sheet pans work so well in terms of conducting heat. And you want to let them cool a little bit, but if you can serve this dessert while the biscuits are still warm, it's going to be the best it can be. So I have one started here on my plate. I've split the biscuit horizontally. I've got the bottom right here. I'm going to put a little bit of whipped cream. This is cream with a little bit of sugar and a little bit of vanilla. I'm going to put that right there. And then the berries, I slice the berries and they've been marinating with just a little bit of sugar and a little bit of the optional Grand Marnier. And this is comfort food. You don't have to worry about it looking perfect. Look at that. The biscuit goes on top and you're done. You've got 6 here. It would actually be just as easy to double the recipe in most food processors, and it would come together just as fast. This is a great dessert for your spring and summer entertaining. This recipe can be found in the April 2012 issue of Bon Appetit magazine. Enjoy.